Well, let's dive into some world building.
Woo!
So, when last we left Emerald, he had been growing up in the streets of Windhold. And after some revelations with his longtime friend and turned into love interest Daisy, where he felt that things would not work out between them, he met a very interesting Mark in the streets. Someone who was dressed in very loose robes and seemingly. How would you describe him? Like,
The robes, I wouldn't quite say were saffron, but they were definitely halcyon of some variety.
but he seemed to have in his possession a large quantity of gold that Emerald didn't seem to think he needed. But lo and behold, this was probably one of the first times he was foiled pickpocketing somebody. And as much as he tried to steal this man's money, he was unable to pickpocket him and was actually kind of force marched out of the city and down through the plains and up into the Moonlit Mountains, where he was eventually brought to this temple. Before we arrive at the temple, how would Emerald have been on the journey?
Confused, suspicious, on guard.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You drink out of a goblin, by the way.
Yes.
That is what you are all seeing, Mr. Martyr and Levi, are that is the carved remains of her first battle, all right, where she killed a goblin horde. That is their chieftain's head, the skull, just
nicely reshaped into a small goblet.
It's the goblin goblet.
Goblin goblet. It's canon now. All right. Would you have ever asked him where you guys were going, or how would you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And for the most part, as you're traveling through more of the farmlands and the low-lying hills, you'll see when we get there. You'll see when we get there.
Mm.
And eventually you guys start climbing up into the mountains. And now, Emerald, you thought you were in good shape.
Are you kidding me? I'm malnourished.
He's been feeding you pretty, you've been eating pretty well, but like, as you start to climb these mountains, it's really freaking hard for you.
I'm sure. I'm scrawny as hell.
Yeah. You guys are heading up like these sheer cliffs, and one of the things you notice about this guy is he'll hit times where at one point you come to a almost vertical wall, and he looks to you and he kind of leans back. He's like, let me see you climb it.
Let me see you climb it.
I know that I can climb it.
Well, I don't.
And he looks and he kind of rubs his fingers together and he puts his hands down on the ground and he starts taking off running. And you see, as he's running right for this wall, there's this split second where you feel like he's going to hit this thing. You're going to see this old dude just splat right into the wall. But also, as he's coming up, he leaps up and his feet touch the side of this wall and he runs right up it all the way to the top. Are you coming?
Huh? Did how?
He kind of smiles at you, and you see him just take a step right off the edge of this cliff.
No, no, no!
And as he's falling, like suddenly it's like the air thickens around him, and he slows down and just kind of lands gracefully on the ground.
Okay, old man, I don't know where you're from or why we're here, but I'm gonna go back to the city where things make sense, okay?
You wish to learn these things, no?
The, hmm. I don't. Okay, sure.
I can see your key is curious.
I'm scared. Wait, what's a key? I have those. No, I don't. No, I have lockpicks.
He comes forward and he just kind of lightly taps you in the middle of your chest, and it's the smallest touch, but it like resonates through your whole body. It's like everything in you just starts to shake for a moment.
Listen, mister, you're kind of weird. I mean, I appreciate the fact that you didn't turn me into the cops, but you're weird. So I'm gonna go. I remember the way back. Thanks for
Immeral.
everything. Pardon?
Immeral.
I didn't tell you my name.
You guys have been on the road for several days now, too, but
I still didn't tell you my name.
you didn't need to.
You're not helping your case here, man. I'm gonna like leave if you're like reading my head or something.
He stands up and looking at you, and then throw a dagger at me.
Throw a what?
He takes a dagger out from his belt and chucks it over to you.
What's wrong with you, man?
I'm offering you training, and I think in order to make the offer complete, you need to understand what it is that I'm offering.
You're offering old man kebab.
You think so?
You just handed me a knife and said throw it at you.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, now that we're on the same page, what do you...
What would Immeral do?
Immeral would... Are you serious? You're serious. You want me to throw this knife at you? I don't want to throw this knife at you. I'm going to skewer you.
Throw it.
Or not. Huh. Okay, you know what? As I'm looking at him, oh my god, a distraction! And then I throw it.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
God, what is young Emerald's actual attack?
So it'd be 2.
Oh, that's not great. That
dex.
is not great.
Yeah.
That is definitely not great.
What is it?
8 total.
Okay, so you go to throw the dagger, and it actually doesn't quite make it all the way there. Like, you were just kind of like, and it falls a little bit short at his feet.
I've been climbing a lot. My arms are tired.
He looks just like, do you want to try again?
Not particularly, but I got a feeling you're going to make me.
No.
Okay, what I'm going to do, because you want this, I'm going to stand half of the distance, because my arms are tired.
All right.
Okay, you hold still.
I'll hold still.
You hold still. All right. I only got a 14.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough. With just basic monk ability.
Hold on. Getting out another die. All right. I assume this one drops to the ground in front of him. I told you my arms are tired.
Oh, this one, like, it goes a little closer. Like, it kind of brushes over your shoulders. Like, you're getting better. That's good.
You patronizing person. All right. Yeah, no, we're using the mega die on this one.
All right, let's see it.
All right, Lapis Lazuli, let's see what you can do for me. That's even worse. That's a 13 this time.
And he looks, he's like, you're right, you are tired. Look, come, sit. And there's actually, so the cliff face you're at, there's a small little pool of water. Looking a little bit like there's a lot of lime in it, possibly. Mm-hmm. So lots of like mineral deposits around the side of the lake. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily the best water for drinking. He,
Lime-ridden water. Awesome.
yeah, yummy. So he leads you over there and sits you down. He's like, "You wish to go back to Winhold? Why?"
Because you're weird, and I don't know who you are.
My name is Ohashi.
Steven Universe reference. What? Sorry, casual nerdiness. You're gonna have to forgive me. I don't actually watch Steven Universe. My dice are legitimately made of lapis lazuli.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Huh.
So, no, I want to go back to Windhold because I know what it is. I was doing okay living in the... Shut up.
You were not okay. You were in distress. You were wasted there.
I was not in not in distress.
Were you happy?
I was getting by.
Were you at peace?
Sometimes when not starving.
What if I can offer you a path where you can learn about yourself and you can find some measure of peace and acceptance within yourself? Where you can learn how to harness your body and its strengths. And he picks up the dagger that is kind of sitting between you two at this point and learn how to use it properly. He flings out his arm and you see the dagger just stick all the way up to the hilt into a tree, not too far off.
I walk up to it. I try and yank it out. And given how weak I am, I assume that doesn't work. And
give a strength check. Let's see if you get the natural 20 on that one.
All right. Do I use the lapis lazuli mega die or do I use the snowflake obsidian, not a sponsor level up die? Oh, let's see here.
Level up dice, not a sponsor.
I'm gonna roll the snowflake obsidian one from not a sponsor level up dice just to see how much worse I can do on that.
Okay.
Not much better. Okay, yeah, that was a 6.
A 6, yeah. You go to.
I have a -1 strength.
What'd you get on the second one?
9.
Appropriate.
Malnourished and scrawny.
So you go to pull it out, and he
trying to.
He walks up to you. He's like, the life force that runs through all of us can allow you to manipulate the space around you. It allows you to understand the elements. It allows you, and he puts his hand just on the tree. You see him concentrate for a moment and kind of shake his palm a little bit, and you see like this pulsing in the tree, and the dagger just falls out. To understand how the world around you works, how all things are tied together.
You know, I heard about this stuff that Mrs. Gilvecchi in the Artisan District in Thatch, that I heard rumors that she had this basement where they would inhale this smoke and it would give them these weird ideas about how the world works. Like they use the word man a lot throughout all of their sentences, and they would contemplate things like your fingernails and how there's an entire dimension in your fingernails and you're not making a case very convincing.
He would kind of just smile and laugh at you. It's like, seems perhaps just offering you a place where you would have food and shelter and safety might be enough.
Yeah, well, my experience is people who offer stuff like that, it comes with a pretty big price. So, thanks, weird old dude.
There is a price.
Yeah, of course there's a price.
It's training, discipline, learning how the world around you works.
Yeah, I was doing okay on the streets, thanks.
No, you weren't.
How do you know?
Your key tells me.
Again, I don't have any keys. I
Not
don't
those kind
need
of
them.
keys.
What kind of key are you talking? Keys are you talking about?
Come sit by the water for a moment.
The weird white deposit water?
Hmm. It's strange, but it's there.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Martyr, he has been stalking Immeral. I'm glad everybody understands this.
He sits down and he goes, "Are you familiar with those who use magic and make things happen? Arcane forces."
Yeah, they're at the Wizards College up in Hilltop. They've got a scorched firing range. They tend to go to the bars and get arrested for lighting things on fire.
Yes, those are some of those who use magic. Do you know where the power comes from?
Books,
That's where the knowledge comes from.
not books. Big toes.
All things have life. He picks up a stone. Not much in here, but there's some. And he drops it. And he leans down towards the water and actually picks up like a small snail. More in here. The energy from all living things and all things that die bleeds off into the world.
Wait, what? Who's talking about death? Wait, you're gonna kill me? I gotta go back.
Not going to kill you. I'm offering you the chance to live your life fully, to understand your potential.
Mm. God damn it.
No,
I'm
it's
in.
not.
You made me break character.
Many chlorians. This is not a Star Wars game.
Oh,
I'm as fed as our producer, by the way.
Damn it. All right. Those are good. Made those myself. How G-rated is this chat? We keep it PG-13.
Yeah. We're.
I'm not going full J on it then. I saw this already too, casual nerdiness. It involved a lot of wooden acting.
The ability to manipulate the energies that are loose in the world is what those who use magic do. Some of them are given that power through gods, others through study, others through their just essence of being.
And you're concerned about my essence of being?
What we teach is how to use the energy that your body creates naturally to manipulate the world around you, to let you do things like run up cliffs.
Are you talking about what happens after I eat Mr. Stevenson's, lunch platters?
In a sense.
Oh. So you're going to make me do that again? That's unpleasant. For me and anybody in the vicinity.
Immeral, trust me. You need this training. But also, I think we need someone like you around.
What do you mean, someone like me?
Someone with a bit of more pluck. It's too many people who are a little too serious and full of themselves there.
So all I'm hearing is you're gonna teach me weird things at a place with boring people, and I'm supposed to just go with you. And oh, by the way, there's this cliff.
Oh, there's a path over there.
What? What's wrong with you?
Well, when I travel by myself, I don't need to take the path. But we'll take the path. Come on, let's go.
I'd stand there staring for a moment.
Come on.
Okay. Okay. start doing. I go with him. I'm following a good distance behind, though.
And he keeps pace with you up until that night. You guys make camp, and he doesn't say anything in the meantime, just kind of walking along in silence.
Yeah, and I'm walking behind him in silence, keeping an eye on him. I kept the dagger, by the way, getting ready.
All right.
In case he makes a funny move.
Well, eventually, he does stop towards. There's not necessarily a clearing, but more just like a small little area off the path, and sheltered by a lot of trees.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes in there and starts gathering up some branches and things, spreading out some pine broths on the ground to rest on, and he sits down and lightly closes his eyes and just starts breathing.
Standing about 15, 20 feet away. And I'm assuming Immeral recognizes this for kind of what it is, given Immeral doesn't have to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh my god. People are making me break character. Damn it, Mr. Martyr. This is not Ace Ventura 2. Everyone loves a slinky. Oh my god.
Oh god, that was such a great scene.
I may have played that scene on repeat for a while.
Oh, come on, the last step.
Oh my god. Yeah, Jim Carrey and Buster Keaton may or may not be the reasons I'm so animated. No, it is not canon. It is not canon because I didn't do it.
Yet.
Oh. Is this going to turn into like some really twisted kung fu? Snatch the pebble from my hand. I control. No, you do not. Oh, you do. What the devil is this garbage that you people are coming up with? This friggin' like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Kung Fu?
That's amazing.
Ah, you must push the slinky down the stairs. What is this? In order to free your key,
Yes.
you must push the slinky down the stairs. Now do it again, young Immeral. Whoa! That went weird. What?
Anywho.
Okay, and scene.
And scene. Welcome to world building, guys.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm following, but I'm noticing he's actually meditating. I recognize this from my own. Oh, y'all are weird. Okay, going back to the meditation. Oh my god. So yeah, I noticed what he's doing, and it's kind of like what Immeral does nightly.
Mm-hmm.
I sit down about 30, 40 feet away, and I just kind of keep one eye open and as much as I can, and I meditate.
All right. What's your armor class right now?
Not good. 11.
As you're trying to meditate, this pebble smacks you in the forehead.
Ow!
You're unbalanced. You're not focused. You're not.
You hit me with a pebble!
You're also not paying attention.
You hit me with a pebble, you malicious old fart! I pick up the pebble and I try to huck it at him.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Hot damn, 18!
18! I do believe that would hit him. I mean, we'll just say for the sake that would hit him. But as you go to huck this, and you are angry enough that you get this right on spot, but what you see is just at the last moment where it's about to hit him, just square between the eyes, his hand just seems to shoot up out of nowhere and just snatches it out of the air and whips it back at you.
Oh God.
Oh, probably not going to hit. That's going to be 13.
My armor class is 11 right now. You malicious old... Ow! 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 Immeral does not say bam. Ow! What was that for?
Because I can. Why else would it be for?
Why am I with you? Why am I coming with you? You're hitting me with pebbles.
You hit me with a pebble first.
You started it. Yeah, no answer? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Come here.
No, you hit me with the pebble. Just sitting here.
Let me teach you how to meditate at least before you take off to the wilderness on your own.
Yeah. Fine. I sit 10 feet from him.
He looks over to the pile of sticks. Can you light that?
With what?
With your mind.
Can you?
Oh, yes. And he kind of looks over and just a little flame starts to crackle in the fire.
What? Crawling away.
He very gently sits down. Elf boy, come learn to meditate. You don't know how. I've been watching you.
Listen, human man. Human old man.
Yes.
God. Frickin' chat. This is so bad when the atoms aren't here. They keep me focused so much better. Oh my God. All right, human old man. I'll go sit down with you. So I sit down.
All right. And he directs your gaze over towards the fire and starts instructing you on how to try to empty your mind more and just to focus on the silence between things. And go ahead and make a wisdom check.
This is going to be pathetic. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Do your dice hate you tonight?
They seem to alternate. Hold on, I got to see if the other one with it. That's not much better. For the sake of things, chat. I have yet to roll above an 11. Oh my God. So my wisdom is a 3.
You're too frustrated, you're too angry, you're too confused to really focus on what he's telling you. You do note, though, when he sits into his meditation, it's different from how you've been figuring it out. Nobody's ever shown Immeral how to meditate at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so he just has kind of learned that all he needs to do at night is sit quietly and just be quiet. And this is the first time somebody is really working on teaching him like how to focus.
So what are we talking, like counting breaths, 4 square breathing? What are we doing here?
He's just trying to have you focus in on the fire and just to empty your mind and to do nothing but focus on the dancing lights of the fire until it eventually becomes embers.
Okay, you know what? Listen, old man. This is like telling me to not think about a pink elephant. Empty your mind. Okay, well, you know what? I'm thinking about not thinking, and guess what that's doing?
It's to focus on the fire, but it's all right. You've done very, very well for tonight.
You patronizing old fart.
Not patronizing, it's sincere. Come on.
Okay. What are we doing?
I'm going to sleep for a little bit, and then I'm going to continue walking in the morning. I hope you continue to follow me.
I'm just gonna sit here.
Figured. And he curls up and falls asleep.
Mr. Martyr, the old man is Chris Angel.
All right.
Neither Immeral nor Dr. B would follow Chris Angel.
The next morning dawns, and he gets up and kind of looks over. So, I'm going this way. Are you joining?
Fine.
And again, he doesn't start any conversation with Emerald that day.
Immeral is happy.
Go ahead and make 2 different perception checks for me, just for what Emerald's aware of during the day. Oh my god, how bad is it?
With my +2 bonus?
Mm-hmm. Alright, so the morning goes by. Nothing. Just. You actually get smacked in the face by a couple of branches because you're just so kind of stewing in your own head and like, what the hell is this guy doing? And why didn't I go back this morning? Why am I still following this guy? What is it that he's promising? It's just, frick. Okay. Hey, go ahead and roll another one.
16 this time.
16.
That's my highest roll yet.
Yes, it is.
Natural 14.
So as you're going through during the afternoon, one of the things you notice is he seems to be not making a sound as he's moving. Like, you've gotten very good at walking stealthily, walking along so that other people don't hear you, don't notice you. You're definitely seeing him move. He's not trying to hide, but his movements seem to be silent.
Okay, you know what? I see that and I actually try and emulate it. And Mr. Martyr, I gotta say, we've had a session like this before where it resulted in some very creative role playing on my part because of how many ones I rolled.
God, you've rolled so many ones that. Well, it was appropriate though. Emerald was super emotionally distraught.
Super emotional and distracted.
Yeah.
Okay, I try and emulate this guy's walking.
Okay, go ahead and do acrobatics check.
Oh, crap, I was really hoping you were going to say stealth. Holy crap, 21!
All right, as you're doing this, he looks over his shoulder and notices you doing it and smiles.
Yes, Levi, it was bad. Yeah, I see him smile and I'm like, glower.
And as the day's wearing on, you guys come to the peak of one of the mountains. And this is the first time he's spoken all day, so we'll come up here and rest for a moment, but not camp up there. It's a bit cold. There's a place a little further down, but I think you'll enjoy this view. And as you crest this mountain, you've grown up in the shadow of the Moonlit Mountain Range, and you know that it's vast. You've heard that the mountains go for hundreds and hundreds of miles. But this is the first time that you've actually been high enough where it's clear enough that you can see all of these peaks, and you can see down to the south and east of where you are, where the mountain range ends and turns into more of the hills of the Empire, not too far off. But to the north and to the west, it's just untold mountain peaks. It's mountain after mountain after mountain. Many of them that seem to pierce into the clouds, and you can see the top above the clouds.
So I'm looking down at the clouds.
In some, yeah.
Kind of like living in Seattle.
Yes.
I was living in clouds all day today. So foggy.
Walking around in clouds. It's winter
Yeah, it was
in
a weird
Seattle.
thing. As a kid, I always used to fantasize what it would be like to live in a cloud city until I got older and realized I did. Especially if you're coming over like the West Seattle Bridge and you can see you're just slightly above all the fog covering.
Mm-hmm.
So great.
Oh, Seattle is very easy to predict the weather. You can either see Rainier and it's gorgeous, or you can't see Rainier and it's raining.
Okay, come on. Not necessarily raining.
Well, Seattle rain is not like regular rain everywhere else. It's
No,
like,
it sprinkles, it drizzles, it mists. Occasionally it rains.
Yeah, very rarely does it rain.
For those of you who aren't from the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. Weather discussions.
So, okay, old dude is taking me up to the moonlit mountain ranges.
Mm-hmm.
I assume moonlit mountains.
It's not quite moonlit yet because it's still daytime, but it's getting on towards you're seeing some of the sun's starting to set, and it's going to be dark soon. You can already see parts of the area are in shadow.
Okay, so it's starting to be twilight time.
Mm-hmm. And as you guys are up there, he points to
Jesus. Mr. Barter, you are dark.
He points off towards this valley between two of the other mountains, and watch there. And you can see
watching.
You see as the shadow is starting to rise up and to engulf this valley. There's this one moment where there's this like bright flash of light.
Whoa!
And then darkness envelops it.
What was that?
That's where we're going.
To the place that just exploded?
It didn't explode. It gave its salute to the sunlight for today.
It saluted the sunlight. What does that even mean?
There's some who gain more energy and ki from light. And others who gain it from the earth itself, from the powers around you, from death, from learning to fight, from their own hands, from emulating those that have been intoxicated, or some that even draw their power from hiding in shadows.
Emulating those who are intoxicated.
They're an interesting lot.
So they drink a lot?
You'll see.
You're...
At this point, what's Emerald's passive perception?
Not good. I miss being trained. 12?
As
Not just like 17 it usually is.
Yeah. And I only rolled a 7 here.
That's amazing!
But you're dealing with like a level 19 monk.
Oh, so not level 20.
No.
What's up with that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Only very special people get to be level 20 in my world.
Ooh. Sassy.
You do feel like a quick little like tug, and go ahead and just make me a dexterity saving throw.
Well, thankfully rogues have that. Oh, Jesus.
Emerald is a level 1 right now, ladies and gentlemen, so...
Coincidentally, so was the roll.
It takes you a minute to process, like, what the hell just happened? As you look down and you see him holding your belt up as your pants fall down.
This old man just pantsed me?
If you didn't keep so much food in there, they probably wouldn't fall so easily, as he hands you your belt back. Come on. No time to be standing with your pants around your ankles.
pick up my pants and hitch him up. I keep my eyes on him, though. Keep my eyes on this old man. He's tricksy. He's tricksy. Trixie.
As you guys rest that night, he again tries to instruct you on how to meditate. Go ahead and make another wisdom check.
Oh, God. Hot diggity! I rolled a 10. Average!
Yes! Z-score of 0.
For the psych nerds in that,
yes,
that was funny.
Which I will say, Z-scores incredibly useful for explaining the how you transition ability scores into the modifiers.
Oh my God! I never thought about that.
You didn't think about that? Oh my gosh!
I never thought about that.
Yeah, no. +1's a standard deviation above the mean. Yeah, it goes all the way up to a +5 above the mean.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
Yay, I just blew your mind.
Okay, for anybody who understands social science statistics, that was genius. What?
Yeah. No. It's just Z-scores.
Oh my God, so that makes a 1699.9.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's why, like, when you were getting the higher scores, you were an elite hero.
Oh my God. Okay, Mr. Martyr, I would love to claim that I'm rolling a D12. I would really, really love to claim I'm rolling a D12, but I am rolling this Mamma Jamma right here. As well as this one made by Level Up Dice, not a sponsor. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, so I just got pantsed by an old pervert.
That night, so with
Son of a!
Hi, son of a!
Hello! You're missing some epically bad rolls.
You tend to roll really badly.
Shh.
Like,
every now and then I do.
I think we need to take you to Gary Con so you can go and get your dice blessed.
Oh, hold on. Here we go. Let me go get my rosary out or something. I mean,
Yeah.
I was raised Catholic, so let's start. In nomine Patri, in nomine Filii.
All right, so
Holy water.
that night the meditation goes a little bit better. You're actually able to hit this point where you're staring at the fire and you're focusing on the fire, and you actually lose time for a little bit.
Okay.
And when you kind of snap out of it, you're looking around a little bit confused. You look up at the moon, not a ton of time has passed, maybe about 15 to 20 minutes or so.
Okay.
But it was probably one of the first times since puberty that you've lost time. Before puberty, you did actually sleep.
Okay, so I lose time. It's weird. And comforting.
But also one of the things you notice is as you're kind of like coming out of like, whoa, this was weird, you feel better. You almost feel more rested than you have in quite a while.
Okay, then.
Master Oashi's sitting there just kind of looking at you expectantly.
I eventually open one eye. Yes.
You did it that time. That was good. That was very good. Nothing else will teach you how to rest properly.
All right.
And you guys continue on the next day. Hiking through, he kind of pushes the pace for you a little bit. So go ahead and just make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh, this is going to be pathetic.
Come on.
Holy crap!
You're due. You're due.
Got a 19 on that one.
Nice.
We'll sacrifice the chicken hat to the dice gods.
So it's feeling like the days of walking through the mountains and everything, you're finally starting to get a better handle on just pacing and how to use the downward slopes to your advantage. And you're able to keep up with him without too much of an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're able to get down into this little valley, and you come around this corner, and this is the first time you see this temple. And what you see before you is a walled-in temple in this sort of really beautiful, picturesque valley, and you see towers coming out of it. Taking a moment to count them, you see 7 of them in total. And you see one of them clearly standing in bright sunlight, and the top of it seems to be crystalline to catch the sun. You see another one that's all the way back in shadow. It's looking like it's in a place that never or very rarely gets sunlight. You see one that, honestly, you're not entirely sure how it's standing. It doesn't look like it should be standing. It's kind of leaning and wobbling and twisting back up. Another one seems to be made of pale white stones.
Okay.
One, though, that seems to really pull your attention. You notice it's got these reddish stones down towards the base of it, dark brown to green stones up, coming into blue, and then up towards the top there's more white stones. And again, this one also is topped with a clear area on the top of it.
I asked the old dude, that weird colored one, what's that?
That's the tower.
Also, how is that one not falling?
You'll have to ask the masters there. I've never gotten a satisfactory answer myself. Maybe you can.
Okay.
This is the Temple of Moonlight. Or some call it the Temple of the 7 Towers.
Temple of the 7 Towers.
Not very originally, I know.
Glad we agree on that.
Come on. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a quick pause from role-playing to go ahead and let's build a monastery.
Yay!
So,
let's build a monastery. Wait, you probably have never seen that musical.
No.
Cannibal. It was the first movie that Trey Parker and Matt Stone did while they were in college.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Let's Build a Snowman's a great song. It was a parody of Oklahoma, but they used as the setting the only person to ever be convicted of cannibalism in the United States.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting thing. So for the chat, to let you guys know what we're doing here. So we've done 2 other episodes like this. This is the 3rd, where we're taking an element from someone's backstory, and then we're role-playing it out a little bit, as you saw here, and then we stop and talk about what do we think this would be like. This way the players have a lot of control over parts of their backstory, and they get to have input into it. And that helps me as a dungeon master better understand how they view this part of their history, how they view the world, and lets us do more collaboration in building this stuff together, which I really like. And I think it's a lot of fun.
Collaborations for chumps.
All right. So we did establish that it's got the 7 towers, so 1 for each discipline.
Which was a nice touch, by the way.
Thank you. And so what I had been thinking about for the training for the students here was that they would do 2 years of just basic martial arts training where they're starting to learn how to use ki.
Okay, casual nerdiness. I think we've established why Immeral is so frowny. You know, a childhood of abandonment and malnourishment while scrounging for, existence in the streets. That'll do it.
Yeah. Well, he's also quite bitter, too.
Again, abandonment!
Yeah. You describe him as being, jokey and carefree, but he's got a lot of bitter there.
No, there's an underlying, the sarcasm is definitely a deflection. Layers of frowns.
It's, it's like an onion. He's got layers that make you cry.
Oh my god. That's Immeral's t-shirt, layers of frowns.
Cragnell says, I learned it from you.
Baradin says, I drew you something.
Oh, that's what I gotta go do for you guys for Christmas. I'm gonna make t-shirts for all of you.
Layers of frowns. Thank you, casual nerdiness. Oh, that's brilliant. Immeral had a breakthrough.
He did.
Oh my god.
By the way, still, I cannot wait till something happens that causes it to dispel magic around you guys with that damn bunny.
Oh, I forgot about Bun Bun. Oh, Bun Bun.
I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it'll be great. I will say, I'm Sven knows a couple of the story points that are being worked in for you guys, and I'm really excited for them. But some of them won't happen till like sometime late next year, probably. So.
Oh my god. I have to, as a braggy moment, I now have both the Deck of Wonder
Nice.
and the Deck of Illusion.
Oh, that's awesome. I haven't
Yes.
seen the Deck of Illusion. Is that one?
Oh, it's 34 illusions that you draw from randomly.
That's amazing.
Oh, Mr. Martyr, you got to catch up. You got to catch up on the last 2 episodes if you don't know who Bun Bun is. Definitely catch up on the last episode. That was amazing.
Oh my god, the last episode
20 was such a good time.
So many face palms.
Lord Baradin lives.
The ticking time bomb of fun. It is.
All right, so I'm at the temple.
All right, so I was thinking that you guys would, because Emerald spends 60 years at this temple, right?
60 years. Yeah, trauma's a bugger.
So he, because typically they're going to be training humans, so 60 years wouldn't be the typical length of training, obviously, to become like
Elves hold a grudge.
So like 2 years doing just general training to basically become a black belt, and then doing 6 months. I try to figure out how long they might spend at each of the different disciplines to learn a little bit about them.
Wow. Okay. All right, so 14 years in total.
Maybe. I'm wanting your input on that. How long do you...
Okay, so...
How long do you think they would need to spend at each of the different disciplines to get a feel for which one would call to them?
I think 2 years. I think 1 year intensive, because this is intensive 8 hours a day training essentially.
Yes.
Let's say 6 hours a day plus chores. Eating and chores. So casual nerdy. No, that was Dr. B, who was a slow learner, because in the 6 years I did martial arts, college and school were always my priority. So I have the honor of being the slowest advancing student in the history of that martial arts school.
That's amazing.
My old teacher, when she contacts me, she's like, "You made it like to brown belt, right?" I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So the I think 2 years for a human is pretty intense. I think 1 year at each, plus an additional 2 or 3 years for the chosen discipline.
Okay.
That brings it 10 years total.
And that kind of makes sense, because probably most of the apprentices get there when they're 8 or 9.
So, a year of intensive training at each, plus an additional 2 to 3 years at the chosen discipline.
Okay. Yeah, so they're 10 years total.
I can see casual nerdiness and Mr. Martyr are taking up Larry Dixon's place as my rival is not here.
Yes, they are. All right. So you're just answering this a little bit. So it sounds like the training you think would be about 6 hours of training plus a couple hours of chores.
Right. Got to earn your keep.
Yeah, so like physical discipline, but also mental discipline too.
Well, that's okay. So that's wrapped up in just about any martial art. The idea that this is the argument of internal martial arts versus external martial arts. If we want to look at classical Chinese martial arts, that they all get you to the same location. It's just which car do you want to drive?
Yeah.
Well, Larry Dixon gets a pass too. Excuse me. What? Excuse me. Not my nemesis, my non-conventional oppositional counterpart.
He's a fantasy author. He's going to embellish,
So, I think that's a reasonable thing that some of the training is going to involve the spiritual practice as well.
Yeah. And I think that would be also probably part of more open-ended to time, that like some people might go to sit in silence in the mountains. Some might go into some of the deeper caves to contemplate being in darkness versus being in light, being cold. So that's really going to be your own personal journey. What do you think the overall philosophy of this temple is? Like, what is sort of their mission statement, for lack of a better word or term?
Well, I'm actually drawn to the idea that so within the Tao Te Ching, the number 8 is a very sacred number, and I'm going to say that the Temple of the Seven Towers actually looks at the universe, 8 different parts of the universe.
Okay.
And the reason I say 8 in this case is because while there are 7 different towers, they're also looking at the completeness of the monastery.
So in a way, too, it's about keeping things in balance and harmony.
Right. Yeah. Harmony and balance, which is the overall, I think, focus of the temple itself. It is looking at the flow of the universe.
Yeah.
Oh, don't think I didn't think about this, guys. Next time I see him, it's gonna be, "Hello, Dixon."
That fits in very well with a lot of different things. So,
which the "Hello, Dixon," the fact
no, what the philosophy of all things being in harmony and balance.
So the philosophy of the school is examining just being, the state of being within the universe and the 8 different parts of it. And I actually imagine that the symbol of the monastery is a circle divided into 7.
Okay. I like that. Okay, so it's like almost like a wheel.
A little bit, but perhaps again, if we want to really borrow from, like the Tao Te Ching or even from Hindi symbolism, then I think surrounding the circle needs to be either an arrow circling or perhaps even an Ouroboros.
I think the aurora kind of fits with the fact that it's in like the Moonlit Mountains, and they probably see auroras pretty regularly.
An Ouroboros.
Ouroboros. Oh, okay. Okay.
So a snake eating its own tail.
Oh, sorry.
Game of Thrones? What? I'm referencing all this stuff I don't actually watch, apparently.
You're doing a very good job of imitating somebody who watches a lot more pop culture stuff than we have time for.
Oh, no, I definitely watch a lot of pop culture. I just don't watch Game of Thrones or Steven Universe.
Yeah.
Ask me about Frasier episodes, though. Not so much, Mr. Martyr, I'm thinking not so much chakra, But although that's an interesting parallel, given that I
Mm-hmm.
think there are 7 chakras,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think that's an interesting parallel. And you know what? Let's incorporate that. I
Yeah,
like
why
that.
not?
I
We can
really
borrow
like that.
from
So let's,
everything.
no, that's a really good call. So let's say each of the 7 schools represents a different point of the prime meridian of the body.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Martyr.
And now go into Google to pull up an image of that so we can maybe do it right.
Well, I'm willing to bet Google and Bing know all of them
Oh, probably.
because I know casual nerdiness only knows 3 of the chakras. Oh no, no, no! You're missing one. You're definitely missing the blue box.
It is 7. Okay.
Okay, cool. So let's say each one of the 7 schools represents a point on the body, one of the 7 chakras.
I like that. All right. Hold on. I just want an image of this.
Mr. Marty, you just bust that out, or did you look that up?
He knows lots of things. Oh, hey. Yeah, Mr. Martyr is my DM, so
Uh-huh.
he knows many things. We have to
Oh,
always
then
be
you
on
can
our.
see what a sassy player she is. Punish her. Punish her.
All right.
I drink and know things. Somebody's going to get a screen grab of that, and I'm going to regret it.
All right. No,
What school is Immeral? Old school.
Oh.
4 elements.
All right. I think I erased something. Okay, that's fine. Philosophy. Do the different disciplines get along?
Uh, I'm going to say because the focus of the school is the unified nature of the universe, at worst, there's a friendly rivalry.
Okay.
Yeah, I say at worst, there's friendly rivalry between the schools, but it's good natured because they know they are a part of the same whole.
So it could be like a thing of we're more important than you because blah 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 blah, and like more philosophical kind of debates of like, well, which came first, the light or the darkness?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And, even though that's been answered,
Yeah.
the darkness always comes first because it always was further away than the light.
Yeah.
Thank you, Terry Pratchett. But but
casual nerdiness is digging a dagger into you.
That's it. You're all my rivals now. The chat is my enemy.
Dr. B versus the chat. The chat room, huh?
All will enter. I will leave.
It is the special circle of hell just for
Dante didn't imagine that. But no, I think that there is within school, and we have a new challenger. Nox War. That sounds Klingon. But I think there's within school rivalries, but they all recognize that the tension within the groups contributes to the whole.
Yeah. So they need to all be together and as one. In that way. Mm-hmm. How much contact does this temple have with the outside world? How much do they interact with politics and everything?
I'm going to say not much because I'm thinking Uatu, the Watcher. They are contemplative in terms of the nature of the universe. However, understanding that different people flow differently within the nature of the universe, individuals will interact. Oh my God, the rivals.
That's canon.
Yeah, that's canon. Our fans are now the rivals,
Rivals.
the clinical role rivals.
Casual
Oh my God.
nerdiness, well done.
Oh, the chipmunks are later. Everybody who doesn't know about the chipmunks, watch episode 20.
Yeah, it's great.
The wettening. But yeah, so they don't have a whole lot of interaction officially with the outside world, though individuals take differing roles.
Now, would they know about the outside world, though? So, not necessarily interacting, but um, watching and understanding. So, like, if the ruler of a kingdom died and there was a war going on, they would be aware of that. It
I
wouldn't be
think
a
the
thing of
abbot would
like,
be.
oh, I didn't even know that king had died. Huh, interesting.
I think the abbot would keep far more abreast of things than the typical student would, simply because the abbot needs to take a macro view.
Okay.
And that could actually be why the abbot was in Windhold, because the
Mhm.
abbot does spend time within the world. You do not all get 20s.
All right. Cool. And what would be some secrets of this temple?
Mm.
And so I'll open up to chat too. If you have any
Yeah.
ideas of like what would be some secrets of this temple? What would be some things as to I don't know. Every temple's got to have some secrets. There's got to be some things there.
Ooh, I see you're pulling in the lazy DM method here.
A little
Okay.
bit.
No, you're pulling in the lazy DM method. I
Yeah.
like this. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Although recommended reading for the
Most
so
definitely.
Dr. Megan and I, for those of you who don't know, are currently writing a training for clinicians that I'm going to be running in Seattle in January on the applied use of therapeutic role-playing games. And one of the things that we're going to take our clinician colleagues through is how to set up a session, and we are going to be using the lazy DM returns method.
Yes, and it's a very, very good book. Really
so good,
easy to read. Good
so
ideas.
practical.
Yeah.
So, have they seen Frasier? No, but Dr. B has every episode multiple times. I could probably quote it for you. All 11 seasons.
I think I've seen almost all of the episodes.
Yeah, so what's a secret of the temple? Okay, one secret is that the 7 schools were not always harmonious. That there was a war between the 7 temples that nearly destroyed the temple. But novitiates don't learn that.
Okay, I like that. How old do you think this temple is?
Oh, I like that, Mr. Martyr. That answers that question.
Yeah. All right.
Ooh. Leave Nigel. That's the Simpsons. Oh, but yeah, no, Mr. Martyr, that's great. That the monk, let's say the monks have existed here for 1,000 years, approximately. Okay. And let's also say, as a corollary secret to the war between the temples, is that the surrounding several hundred miles all have conflicting legends and stories about the monk wars.
I like that. One of the schools with a particular investigation.
Ooh, one school is the particular instigator when there is unrest. You know, Wandering Shrink, I'm thinking that there's 2.
Yeah.
There's 2 schools that are particularly antagonistic. one intentionally and one not intentionally. Well, the unintentional one would be the drunken masters, just because they are, some of them are douchebags and they've been drinking. But, and I would say the other ones are the way of the shadow, or no, the way of the long death.
The way of the long death, I think that would make more sense.
Yeah, the way of the long death. But
Shadow and Sun Soul balance each other perfectly. I think those two would be the most concerned with balance and harmony.
well, so would the, but at this point, so would the way of the long death and the way of the open fist.
That's true.
But at the same time, I mean, antagonistic at this point would be a sort of relative term, given the harmonious arrangement that they've all come to.
Yeah.
However, there's an interesting plot hook right there, that the harmony gets unbalanced.
And we could even take it into like almost a karma, the great wheel of life, that it's every 200 years there's a bit of unbalance that happens.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. Oscillation and cleansing. Okay. All right. So yeah, but let's say that I like that. So one of the secrets is that the way of the long death tend to be the instigators.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is there any like I don't know if like patron's quite the right word, but like like do they have like a jade dragon, or like is there some sort of like monster or creature that maybe is like the patron creature of this monastery?
You know what? Each one of the okay, so the school was unoccupied.
Mm-hmm.
The whole monastery was unoccupied, but it's been occupied for 1,000 years. I am so borrowing this heavily read as practically plagiarizing from Warhammer 40k canon.
Okay.
There is actually a sleeping patron under each of the towers.
Oh. Did the monks know that?
Nope. Not even the abbot knows that one.
Oh, you just gave me so much fun stuff to use. Oh, God. Like, it's hard not sharing this stuff with my players because they are all dungeon masters too, and I think they could appreciate some of the stuff that's coming their way. I like this. So let's flesh out the schools a little bit. Okay.
Oh, we're only going with 5 secrets?
Oh, we could do some more. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got there's a sleeping patron under each tower.
Yep. The 7 schools were not always in harmony. The temple stood long before. Conflicting legends.
Slow death.
2 schools with a slow death, and the sleeping patron under each tower
tends to be antagonistic.
5, yeah.
So the slow death, they're the Slytherins. I'm getting Immeral out of that label as much as I can.
He's a Slytherin. It's okay.
Not a Slytherin.
It's okay.
Wounded Gryffindor.
By the way, I watched a video on the making of I still can't pronounce the American School of Magic. Illuminati? No, I can't pronounce it. Anyway, it's really good. It's on that stupid Fire Films channel that I've become addicted to.
Oh, Livermony.
Livermony, yeah.
Morny, yeah.
Yeah, Livermony, whatever. Yep.
Ilvermorny.
That one.
Yeah, Ilvermorny. I gotta actually watch those movies, or that movie.
The Fantastic Beasts is great.
Oh, Ilvermorny. Ilvermorny.
Yeah.
I put the accent in the wrong place. Ilvermorny.
All right, I've got, this is sort of rumorish secret. So talking about the 7 different schools, the tower for the Way of the Long Death looks like it's entirely made out of skulls.
Ugh.
and there's conflicting reports on if it's actually made out of skulls or if it's just cleverly carved stone.
Okay. Ugh. Sweet Jesus.
And bonus, if you're training at that school and you get in trouble, you have to go around counting all the skulls.
Oh God, that's like Greek. That's like Greek legend meets Dante right there. Yeah,
Um,
start counting the skulls, Sisyphus. 1, 2. Oh, Virgil's here. Throw another one. Counts off.
and Madigan, one of the things that would happen is if low level enlisted got in trouble who were assigned to the hospital, they had to go around and count the paintings in the entire hospital. Which, if you've ever been to Madigan, it's a freaking huge hospital.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's see. Made of skulls. Holy crap. All right. All right. Long Death Tower made of skulls.
Hmm.
Are you trying to come up with an appearance for all the other towers?
Yeah, I've got a little something in mind for most of them, but I'm thinking, I'm wondering if part of the training for people who do the Way of the Shadow is to go into the Underdark for a period of time.
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
No, because death is universal.
Yeah.
And understanding all the aspects of
No, this is for Way of the Shadow, that they would
Way
go
of the Shadow.
go
Yeah,
into the
shadows are
Underdark.
eternal.
Yeah. Well, they would go into the Underdark for a time to learn to live in total darkness.
Okay. No, I could be. I'm down with that. Or the cave system with the
Mhm.
underneath the tower itself. So I would think that this monastery is protected enough that they wouldn't have interconnecting tunnels into the Underdark,
Yeah, yeah.
but they would definitely have caves that are private.
Yes. And then maybe also, so Way of the Sun Soul, they have to travel up north to an area where it's basically like living in Alaska during the light period where the sun never sets.
The tallest peak.
Yeah, going to the tallest peak for
Okay.
a period of time so they don't get any darkness.
Okay.
I like that because that also would help both of those disciplines understand the need for the other
Mm-hmm.
and keeping them in
Mhm.
balance in that way.
Oh, Levi. You live in the shadows. I was born into it.
So one of the things in this monastery, there's definitely a freshwater spring that runs into it. I don't imagine that they're able to grow much of their own food, though.
Here's my counter argument to that.
Okay.
Way of the Four Elements. Their section, I say their section is ridiculously fertile, at least a small section of it.
Mm.
That the section around their towers is actually the section around their tower is actually divided into 4 seasons.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And there's a definite delineation. One section is eternally snowy. And it slowly rotates.
Ah. I like that. That's really cool. The drunken masters would brew beer. Yeah, they would. Yeah. Learning how to brew and
The drunken master acolytes would learn how to brew beer. The masters, they kick it up a notch.
Yeah. All right, let's get one more good secret about this temple. All right, let me know what you think about this.
Mm-hmm.
The abbot, what if we changed him up a little bit? I'm thinking, what if he's a copper dragon?
That would make so much sense.
All right.
Capricious bastard.
Yeah, I could also see like the Kensai Tower looking like it's basically made of weapons. So like all the stones have basically been carved into like interconnected weapons go all the way up.
I see the Kensei towers as being much more practical, like a barrack,
Oh, okay.
and that their tower is like archery ranges and jousting. But they also have, because it's lower to the ground and practical, they also have studio. Oh, okay, casual nerdiness. You're going exactly where I'm going with this. Okay, that's fantastic. I was gonna say, like, they have it really is more stereotypically Bushido.
Okay.
That
Gotcha.
there's tatami mats, and that they have basically rooms for doing shumi and all
Hmm.
sorts of stuff like that.
Awesome. So let's really quickly go through the different chakras since we're doing that and decide which one goes where.
Okay. I'm gonna actually I want to turn that one over to the chat
Hmm.
because in a lot of respects, what do y'all think? Like the different schools. Like let's start with the easy ones, like long death.
Yeah.
Oh, Levi's got a plot hook
Uh,
or even a secret.
oh, wait, where is it? One of the masters is. Ooh, yes. I
Oh,
think that's a good secret. I'm going to add that.
yeah.
Oh, that's actually. Ideas. Thank you, Levi.
Can't recommend the lazy DM returns enough.
Um, I think long death might be heart.
Not sacral at the base,
Possibly. That could work too.
or maybe that's shadow.
Could be.
I say shadow's the throat underneath the third eye.
Yeah, I could see that. We could see a lot. I mean, I don't think any of these are better than the others. Um, I would argue that maybe the way of the four elements would be the root, so like the solid base. Or the
I say the way of the four elements is the heart,
okay.
because our emotions are volatile and changing.
Mm. Yeah, we're trying to figure out what chakra goes to each tower because we have the seven disciplines, we have seven chakras. Let's put them together because that makes it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. So
Mm-hmm.
by this chart, the sacral chakra, the one at the very base, that is life.
Oh, so then the crown would maybe be death.
The crown. Okay, so looking at this, and this is breaking it down into the Hindi concepts. The crown is understanding and will. The third eye is imagination. The throat is power. Heart is love. Solar plexus is wisdom. The belly is order, and the sacral is life.
Hmm.
So if we go with power as the throat, shadow.
Sure.
Okay. Long death seems sacral.
Yeah.
They're studying life and death.
That works.
Okay.
Someone wrote the solar plexus as open hand. Levi wrote that. I like that.
Okay. Yeah. Solar plexus is open hand.
Um, I like that idea that you had the four elements being the heart
Mm-hmm.
and changing because it's all right. So we've got Drunken Master, Kensei, and Sun Soul left.
So you know what? I would say that Kensei are order,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the belly.
The belly.
Mm-hmm.
So the root. Wait, I don't have belly on mine.
So belly, the root is the sacral chakra.
Oh,
That's long death.
okay. So okay. The one I have sacral is above root. Okay.
Maybe I could be either way.
Okay. So have that be the root. Kensei are
The belly. Solar is open hand. Heart is four elements.
mm-hmm. Crown Sun Soul.
Yeah.
And that leaves third eye for Drunken Master, which I actually kind of like.
They're constantly opening it up.
Oh, I really like that.
That's the imagination chakra.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense, and I like this. Okay, this is a lot of fun. Drunken Masters, they get it. Yep.
Yeah, they know they. So no, here's the deal. Here's the deal. You ever think about the universe? The universe. It's just like boom. We're like here, man. God, you're funny. Woo! Drunken Masters. They get it.
Drunk, not stoned.
Oh. Similar effects.
All right. So, anything else that we want to add about the temple and their training and how things go there?
I think this is pretty good. I think we've got a lot. What does the chat think?
I have to give them a minute because there's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, we're on a 7-second delay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Training 1 year at each plus 3 at Chosen Temple. Okay, cool.
And I would imagine too, with the towers, as you're spending the year there, you're probably only ever at the base of the tower. And like maybe the second half of your year, you go to the first floor. So you go from the ground floor up to the first floor.
Mm.
And then as you train and choose your discipline, then you're allowed to start ascending the towers.
Okay. Or in the case of the shadow, deeper and deeper.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good point with the way the shadow, like, you actually start at the top and you train up at the top of that tower and move down.
I have a secret.
Okay.
I have a secret. That the way of the shadow, as they get deeper and deeper into it, they get closer and closer to their sleeping patron.
Yeah. Ooh.
And it gets real weird down there, man, but they don't know why. And they don't talk about it.
What do you now? Let's speculate and understand that this is not going to be canon. What do we think each of the sleeping patrons might be?
I say a sleeping demigod.
Oh,
A sleeping demigod that represents the heart and soul of each of the temples. That each of those temples ended up resonating with the sort of essence of that demigod.
okay. I could see this too as like the demigod's essence kind of influenced the tower, but then as the tower grew, became this kind of thing where they influenced them. So like,
Mhm.
were these sleeping demigods to wake up now, they would be different than how they went to sleep.
Oh, I think so. Over the, 1,000 year, over
More than,
thousands of
yeah,
years at this
thousands.
point of the influence of the essence of each demigod, plus the influence of the people who occupy those towers, I think they would have changed, but I think they would have also become more like that demigod,
Yeah,
at least in terms of their taste and their spirit.
that's cool. I like that. And this also gives me ideas. So the Sunday camp,
Oh, good call, Levi.
they're
They're all
sleeping.
siblings.
Ooh.
And I can't believe I'm about to say this. They're I'm going Greek on this one.
Yeah.
There is one who rules them all, and that's Papa.
I like that. Yeah, so my next character in the Sunday game I play, she was an avatar for a god for a while, and this is going to be picking up after the god was like, "Okay, you did everything I need you to do. Go back to being a level 1 druid."
Huh.
And she gets put into a cursed sleep for an unknown period of time. I'm thinking she might be asleep for 2,000 years before she wakes up and the new campaign starts. So, that could be interesting.
Okay, send sleeping semigod siblings or
Yes.
demigod siblings. Send 7 sleeping. I want to call them semigods now because
Semigods.
just for the alliteration, 7 sleeping semigod siblings.
I like that. They are semigods, not demigods.
7 sleeping demigod siblings. There you go.
All right. So as Emerald arrives at this tower, or at this collection of tower, you do come up. There's a small walkway, a bridge leading to like this open area before you, and you see several groups of students in different colored robes out practicing martial arts. Some of them look extraordinarily young to you. You see boys and girls, all different species, mostly human. Humans are the predominant ones here, but you do see some that look half orc. You do see a couple of half elves, which is surprising for you. That's the most number of half elves you've seen. You see some dwarves, some gnomes. And actually, you do also see a group that are all one species practicing together, or seemingly one species. It's the first time you've ever seen any of the avian races.
Whoa.
And so you see these humanoid bird forms practicing this martial art, and then all at once they all jump into the air and are flying around in a formation that's really it's difficult for you to follow, but it is beautiful in how it's acted out. And many people are coming up to the man you've been walking with, Master Oashi, and greeting him excitedly, welcoming him back. And they look at you with some curiosity, but most just seem to smile warmly and welcome you in. As you guys are ushered in, you're brought into this one. You see the training grounds inside this complex are huge. Each tower has its own like area around it that seems to be separate from the others. But then there's this large like courtyard area in the middle where there's a couple of different houses and sleeping areas. And you're brought in and sit down at a low table, and plenty of food and water is brought out. You're brought some fresh clothes and directed towards baths should you want to go use those.
Okay. I stay with Master Owashi.
Yeah. He smiles at you. So, this is home for as long as you'll have it.
Hmm. Okay. Well, this is nice. What do I have to do?
Train. You saw the students out there training.
What? So I'm gonna just like stoop down and start punching air?
Eventually. You need to learn to balance first. You need to learn to
I stand up on one leg and shrug.
make a dexterity check.
Uh, 13.
You're able to balance, but you're still swaying a little bit, and you see he kind of smiles at you and nods. He's like, "You'll understand."
I hop to the other foot. I'm balanced.
And he walks over and he gives you a shove, and you stumble. And he stands on one foot. You can return the favor.
I throw a pebble at his kneecap.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Big pebble.
You rolled a 1. 5.
I got a 10 total.
He looks at you and smiles. It's just, we'll also teach you how to throw things.
I actually try to kick him in the knee.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll. Your faces.
I'm gonna point out that even if theoretically I had been rolling at advantage,
Uh-huh.
neither one of my d20s got above a 7. I got a grand total if I'm using dex. Am I okay? No, I'm not trained yet. I can't use dex.
Mm-mm.
Oh my god! I used my strength for melee. Oh, that's
Yeah.
pathetic. I got a 5.
All right. As you're coming down, he kind of puts a hand on you and just lets you go by.
He helps me to the floor, huh?
You don't fall to the floor. You just kind of walk by him. It's like, you can push me.
I get angry and try it again.
All right. So you go up, and this time you push on him. Go ahead and make a strength check. Folks, his strength is a -1.
I got a grand total of 6 on the strength check.
So you go to push at him, and what he does this time is he grabs your hand and he uses the momentum that you're pulling to push you forward, and you kind of fall down on your face. You're not so well balanced now.
You. Ow! Or excuse me. I won't go to television.
He comes over and helps you to your feet. Training Immeral will not be easy, but you'll get to learn to use your body and to lose.
Were you addressing me or warning others?
Trying to address you.
The dirt tastes funny.
A lot of food's been spilt in here.
No.
And for the sake of time, because we're probably going to wrap up here soon, he talks you through the different trainings. And over the next few weeks, it's hard. You're having to get up extraordinarily early. Living in the city and being a pickpocket, you never were really out early. It was always crowded, hitting the crowded times during the midday, end of day, and then for actual robberies, a lot of those would happen at night, of course.
Okay, so I start going out at night, just kind of creeping around.
Well, no, I'm saying like you're getting up early in the morning now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you're having to adjust to like being up super early in the morning.
That's
Um,
weird.
yeah, I it's hard, but after a little while, you start to understand the value of the training.
Okay.
You do earn the nickname Squirrel from one of the trainers
Squirrel?
when they catch you hiding little caches of food away.
You know how cruel of a nickname that is to give to me as a player?
Oh.
Sorry, what?
And it actually becomes part of your training to uh, you essentially like adopt one of the wild squirrels and emulate their movements, how they kind of unpredictably run around and learn how to stop, start, climb really quickly, and dart away.
Squirrel foo!
Yes, you're learning squirrel foo.
Immeral learned squirrel foo!
No.
Oh, and that's where they throw the acorns from the trees.
Yes. Starts learning all of these things.
That's where Immeral gets good at throwing pebbles.
But after about a good solid year at the temple, you start to go through the different temples.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll a d8 for me.
Good news is there's no way for my die to mess this one up.
Yeah, this is just super.
I got an 8.
You got an 8. That's a roll again. It's only 7 schools.
Oh. Pick 2 and then take both results.
Yeah.
Got it, 2.
2. All right. So your training actually starts in the disjointed tower.
Is that the Drunken Masters?
That is the way of the Drunken Masters.
Yes! Boy.
And you learn, you spend a lot of that year getting heavily intoxicated. And learning how to use your body weight, learning how to use stumbling movements. You do get fairly good at dodging out of the way and learning how to push people along. You recognize that was one of the moves that Master Oashi had used against you when he was asking you to push him over. After your year there, would there be anything particular skill sets or things that Emerald would want to learn there? Could have gave the freshman 15.
Let's see here. Yeah, no, but he's working out 6 hours a day. I don't think the freshman 15 is a thing. I mean, this is like Michael Phelps. He can't eat enough calories.
Yeah.
No, I think from that, he's going to learn more about being able to move through a crowd and the amount of deception that goes into the Drunken Master form is actually really second nature to Immeral, given he was a pickpocket already. So to look unassuming.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you feel pretty at home there, but it doesn't fully connect with you. You don't feel like you've necessarily found the place that you belong. The next tower that you're brought to is actually the Way of the Four Elements.
Okay.
And so you spend a lot of time in meditation. This year of training is more spent on the mental disciplines than necessarily the physical ones, studying how the different elements work, the balance, learning a little bit about the different elemental planes, but mostly the intersection and how to balance the different elements together.
Okay.
After that, moving into Kensei and starting to learn a little bit more with weapons work, understanding calligraphy, sitting down, and just lots of discipline with the weapons. But it's
Immeral doesn't do well there.
Yeah, no. This is probably like this is the year when Emerald thinks about quitting. I imagine it's the Way of the Four Elements. He actually was feeling pretty comfortable, really liked that. Everything was changing. It was different every day, but this was a lot about tradition. This is the way we do things. This is the way we always do things. And when that year is up, everybody's pretty
calligraphy nerds to this.
Yeah. Next, you go to the Tower of the Long Death.
They're weird, man.
And it does seem to be pretty weird. Like, you do study different skulls, you study different abilities, understanding the balance between life and death. This is also where you're first introduced to the concept of the Raven Queen. And learning about this goddess that handles that transition from life to death. And there's not worship of her there, but more just teaching that she exists and respect for her.
More like collegial respect.
Yes. Yeah.
And admiration. This is, she does our job well.
Exactly. After your year there, you move into your year of studying the way of the open hand. And really learning how to use your body. This is another place where you feel very connected. Learning how to hit quickly, hit hard. It's something that speaks to you in a lot of ways. Speaks to being a rogue and having that training. After that, you spend your year studying with the Sun Souls.
I would imagine Immeral has a hard time with that just because it seems too optimistic.
Yeah.
That they're basically kind of like later on when there is the threat of comfort. That's where Immeral, it's just too unfamiliar and too peaceful.
Yeah. You will admit, like, it's pretty cool what they can do.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just not for you.
Too weird.
And then, fitting, after the Way of the Sun Soul, you move to the final tower, the Way of the Shadow.
Oh, that's good stuff right there.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. What, you want to play hide and seek and let's... Done.
Yeah. And that way you actually do very well at, and you like it. And so after your year, you're there, things finish up for you, and Master Oashi meets you, and you're finally let back down to the base of the tower.
Oh, and this is really good timing, MM Crone. This is really good timing.
So, for one who wanted to run back to Winhold, you've managed to complete the basic training. What do you think?
I mean, yes, Master Oashi.
Oh, please. I don't have a rod up my ass. You can just be yourself.
Good. And I actually try and steal his belt.
You do have a level you're level 2 at this point. You do have a level of monk now.
Yay! Hold on, let me see if that actually helps me out of this. I gotta see if that actually helps me out. Oh my god. That's amazing. Let's go. Let's add a level of monk. What? I call shenanigans. This is what we get for retconning things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Immeral apparently can't join because he needs a 13 dexterity.
What?
My dex is one too low.
Why is your dex? How did that happen?
We just started at level 3. I just went with it. By that point... Oh, no. You assigned me these stats for young Immeral.
Oh, okay.
You assigned me these stats because I rolled initially. That's how it worked.
Okay.
Either way, yeah, I've got a better dex, whatever my other one was. Let's see here.
Yeah, pull up because
my regular character.
Yeah, your regular character.
Let's see, where is Immeral? That's right, I created all those characters for my groups.
How many characters are you up to in your D&D Beyond?
35.
70. D&D Beyond, not a sponsor.
Okay. Oh, that's gross. Because yeah, when he started off at level, oh my god. Okay, yeah, he had an 18 dex.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, because I did the 16 plus the elf bonus and all that.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. So 18 dex. So that's gross. So yeah, his sleight of hand is a little bit better than it was.
All right.
That is a cocked die, thank God.
All right.
Oh!
Oh, finally, you're due. And with a 19, that's about what you would need.
I critted this one to steal his belt.
All right. As he's talking, you steal his belt, and his pants fall down around his ankles.
And I hand it back to him just with a smug grin.
He smiles. He's like, I knew there was something I liked about you. So, what are your thoughts of the different disciplines?
Well, had a lot of trouble with a few of them. Who told you what? But I like the 4 elements. I find it strangely soothing. The chaos.
I could see that. Well, have you go and train at their tower. It'll be some time. If that's what you wish. You can go back to your city if you wish. The choice is yours.
I'm going to go for the advanced training.
And Immeral spends the next 4 or 5 years delving into training. When he finishes his training, what would he be doing? Because he does spend, like we discussed, 60 years at the monastery.
Right. So one of the things that I don't know if hopefully some of our regular viewers would have noticed by now that Immeral's, well, I mean, Immeral's a little cranky, but Immeral is also stupidly loyal to the people who help him. And at this point, it's been 10 years of at least Master Oashi helping Immeral.
Yeah.
So he's going to stick around as long as he can to try and get some peace.
And so after
doesn't work well.
Yeah. After you finish your training, you stay still trying to master meditation is the thing that's always been a bit elusive to Immeral. Trying to better understand. It's just mostly like it doesn't feel like it. You feel like you're always missing something, and in all the time that you're there, you never meet another elf. What you hear from the monks is that several have met elves, and you actually do hear talk of dark elves, the purple-skinned drow that sometimes come to the surface in different parts of the Moonlit Mountains. You do learn that one of the things with the Moonlit Mountains is it's very porous in that it does seem to connect to the Underdark in a lot of different places. And eventually, after 60 years, give or take a year or two, Master Owashi comes to your room.
And I'm there, but trying to meditate. A little grumbly. And yes, MM Crone, that is exactly right. Too many internal voices. Again, also with childhood trauma and neglect.
Yes. You feel familiar finger just kind of push on your forehead. And kind of that weird sensation kind of jolt through your body.
I roll backwards, try and grab a pebble and toss it at him.
Go ahead and make an attack roll. And we can go ahead and say you're at your original character sheet now of level 3.
Okay.
Because it's been 60 years of training.
So with an attack roll of that, that's not good still.
No.
Oh, man. That's only a 12.
He just smiles.
Oh, excuse me. No. Sorry. That's a 15.
15. Yeah, still quite not enough. He just looks at you, he smiles. You'll get me one day.
I got your pants already. Yeah,
Emerald,
Chad agrees with me.
come here. I want you to see something. And you look out and you see now what you know to be the Aarakocra and the Tsuri races.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a couple of them uh, standing on one of the cliff faces with a smaller one between them. And one of the larger ones takes off and starts flying, and you see the younger one standing there and eventually taking. It's kind of like doing this thing of like leaning out and coming back in and leaning out and coming back in. And then you see the other one put their hand out and just shove it forward. And there's this heart in your throat moment when you see it tumble before its wings come out and it takes flight. Sometimes
Okay.
the young ones need a shove out of the nest to understand how far they can fly.
So you're going to teach me to fly?
You already know.
No, I don't. I don't have wings like they do.
It's time for you to go out into the world, Immeral. You've hidden away here long enough.
What? No, I'm used to things here. I've been I've been doing the meditating and all of the peacefulness.
He puts hands on either side of your face and just kind of looks at
I
you.
hate when you do this.
It's time. You know it. You've known it for years now. And I've let you sit longer, hoping that maybe the pull of your key out into the world would be enough for you. But I think you, like the young Aarakocra there, need a shove.
Just look down.
This is your home, and you will return to it one day. But now it's your time to go and to find your place in this world.
Where will I go?
West is a good direction.
So what's to the west?
There's a few kingdoms there. Interesting places. I think staying away from the Empire, stay away from what you've known. Go expand your horizons. Go see parts of the world you haven't seen before.
But I like it here.
I know you do. But you're not growing anymore. Come. And he leads you through to the place, and he's let me see your tattoos.
Hold out arms.
And he smiles and he walks over and he picks up tattooing instruments. He's like, I'm going to add one if that's all right with you.
Of course.
It's going to go along your back. The
How long
shoulders.
is this going to take?
Not too long. And he spends the next about hour or so tapping along your shoulders. And he does show you, like, through a mirror, this design of one more kind of coiled dragon tattoo. And he put colors in it of the each representing one of the four elements. You are ready. And now you know I watch your back.
I just continue looking down at the ground, and I look up. And for the first time ever, I hug him.
And he immediately returns the hug and just holds on to you, but
Ow!
low. He would respect your boundary of when you're ready to, he knows that this is a big step for you when you.
He also respects the boundary that he just gave me an open wound.
Yeah.
Unless they have monk salves that
Oh, they would definitely have some things that feel pretty good and help heal it up pretty quickly.
How y'all doing?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel good. I feel healed.
And so when the next day dawns, you start your journey. They arrange for you to meet up with a caravan that's moving through one of the central passes of the mountains. And you see different dangers along the way. Goliaths, just giant eagles, different creatures up in the mountains. Most leave the caravan alone. Eventually, though, making your way to the coast and hearing word of a noblewoman who needs an item retrieved. You decide to go and take the job because you've found you need some money. And that's where we'll end this one.
And there's a dwarf and another dwarf and a dude who talks to his shoulders.
Yep.
And you were there, and you were there, and you were there.
And that's how things get started.
Awesome!
That was awesome.
Thanks for being here for the prequel, everybody.
Yeah, no, this was great. I have so many cool ideas for this.
Of course you do.
Yeah. Stay tuned for next week. So next
week's Jack and Rachel.
Jack and Rachel. Yeah. Guess where they are? Their characters are in the Moonlit Mountains.
Huh. What a coincidence. No. God, I'm M. Sven. No. Any team I am on is by definition the B team. That is how this works.
But Jack and Rachel next week to get them moving in a direction where they will intercept the Ghost Fang clan.
Yeah, Ghost Fang.
Figure that out.
With great nasty big pointy teeth. No, we're not the C team. No, we're not the C team. We have friends who are, but we're not the C team.
We could go backwards. We could have the Z team and the Y team.
We are both the A team and the B team. We're the abs.
We pity the fools.
Abs for days. No. It's like the
Y team. Why are we doing this again, guys?
Sir, what are we doing? Why?
Why are we doing this?
The Y team. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Oh, thank you again to everybody who's tuned in to watch this. This has been awesome.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all so much for the suggestions. This is awesome stuff. This will be built out into the world. It's going to be awesome. So thank you all so much. Next week with Jack and Rachel. Week after that, back to regular crew. And I think hopefully maybe soon after that, everybody together.
That'd be fun.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. In the meantime, thank you guys. Bye.
Bye, everybody.